Hi, and a very warm welcome to Mobility Conversation, a leadership series where we bring industry leaders to talk about industry trends and technology aspects. Today we have Mr. Balbir Singh Dhillon, Audi India Chief, to talk about Audi India's electric vehicle strategy, and to talk about the last 1 year performance of Audi India. So first of all, I would like to understand about what's the Audi India electrification strategy.
So, well, um, we know very clearly electrification is the future, and we are moving towards that direction. Um, Not just in India but globally. Audi has decided to become an electric car company in some years from now. But that journey starts now. What we also see in India, there is a very good acceptability that we already see in electric mobility. Just 2 months back, we launched e-tron, three models: e-tron 50, e-tron 55, and e-tron 55 Sportback. And the kind of response that we have received from our customer is really unprecedented. The first lot of cars is already sold off. So that is really gives us a strength, a confidence to bring more cars, and that's why you see the top of the line e-tron GT and e-tron RS GT today that we're launching for our customers. These cars were launched globally very recently. So our overall strategy in the times to come is to reach a minimum 15% volume by the year 2025 with electric cars. Of course, provided that we have stable policies and also the infrastructure on this side is developing during this period. So that is very clear strategy that we are taking.
Okay, a recent controversy has been stirred around the import duties on electric vehicles, and many foreign car makers as well as Indian car makers are betting for it. What is your opinion about it?
Well, we have been talking about this for a very long time. Every opportunity I get, I request through every possible channel to the government to give us some kind of a relief, even if it is, let's say, interim from 3 to 5 years period. Because what it will do is it will help us reach the minimum threshold volume faster. And once we reach those volumes, will be able to decide to start making these cars in the country, the electric cars I'm talking about. But in general, the import duties on all the FPU cars are really high. They are upwards of 100% in one category and 60% in the other, which is definitely a deterrent to bring more of these latest available technology marvels to the country, because their volumes will always remain limited. So this is my request to the government to bring the import duties, even if it is for a limited period, but that will give us an opportunity to bring and sell more and more cars, and then eventually start also making these cars in the country.
Talking about you have been very aggressive on the launching electric vehicles specifically. If you just talk about the luxury car vehicle segment, you are the one of the first who have 4 or 5 products in this line. How many more products can we see from Audi India coming next 3 to 4 or 5 years when we say your 2025 electrification strategy?
So if you see globally, Audi will launch 20 new electric cars by the year 2025. I cannot promise that all of them will make into India, but some of them definitely will be. And what you see today is the cars at the top of the pyramid. And what we are talking for the future is also cars at below the top of the pyramid. So we will bring more volume electric cars also in the times to come, and that is our plan.
Okay, how many products can we see, and what price range we can expect?
So well, these two topics are very difficult to predict, because pricing eventually always depend upon at the launch time what are the duties, all those things. So it is difficult to predict pricing, and I will not be able to share which models specifically and how many of them. Uh, but we have a very exciting future, that's all I can say, and we are really looking forward for getting new models. In fact, we're going to almost launch another 2 to 3 products in the next few months.
Coming back to Audi India's overall business strategy in India, last 1.5 years very exciting for you. About dozen of launches happened. You also mentioned in a presentation there are about your sales have zoomed from 115% in first half of this year. Can we term it as Audi India's turnaround, seeing the past few years of Audi India performance, and how do you see your next 3 or 4 years?
Let me speak about today. Standing today, we are growing very well, and customers have accepted and loved the products that we brought into the country, the new launches. Of course, we went through a dip cycle primarily because of the pandemic situation, and also if you remember, when we moved from BS4 to BS6, we decided that we will move from diesel plus petrol strategy to petrol and electrification strategy. When you make these changes, these are bold changes, and you know that you will go through a dip cycle. So it was a conscious decision that we are going through this cycle, but we have fulfilled our promise of bringing the electric cars, and we are the first one to bring these many cars. So while the luxury segment still is, let's say, 70% driven by diesel cars, but we are the only one who is selling electric and petrol cars. So when you make strong and bold decisions, you, let's say, sometimes also go through dip for a short period of time. But we are already seeing this uptick where the industry in first 8 months has grown by, let's say, about 47-48%. We have grown by 115%. So you can see the things are changing, and they're changing for good. And the acceptability of Indian buyers, whether it is petrol or electrification, is really, really good. And it has surprised us as well. And so we are very, very positive in the times to come to also bring in new products and also get into volumes.
I'm sure things are changing for good at Audi India.
Absolutely.
But talking about the diesel volume, it still is a major chunk, and I'm sure you're getting a lot of feedback from your sales team and the dealers that a lot of volumes. Is there any number that you can put on that you have let go that number for Audi India?
Actually, it is to the contrary. And honestly, I have not come across any of our dealer partners coming to us saying that just because we don't have diesel offers and we are losing the sale. That is not the case. The acceptability of our current portfolio or our TFSI engines is really, really good. To tell you if we have not lost a single order of somebody, it's no. The answer would be no. We must have. But that is a conscious decision that we have taken, because we also want to keep our portfolio strong but also simple. So, managing 3 kinds of portfolios is a bit complex. So when you focus, then you achieve certain volumes. But at the same time, whatever we are doing, at the end of the day, we are doing for our customers, and we want to make them happy. So in general, I would say the customers have really surprised us, also accepting only petrol strategy and also going forward electrification.
One last question on in the industry. Talking about the overall industry size right now, overall the market forces. It's equal to for all. 2021 would be a record year for Audi and the players, or luxury car vehicles as such, or.
So 2021 definitely is a year where there is a growth. We already seeing almost, let's say, 47-48% growth in the luxury space. But we still are away from the peak that we had achieved in the year 2017-2018. So I think there is still a couple of years when we reach the peak. The main reason, I believe, is that the overall luxury space is only about 1% of the overall automotive segment. That is primarily because the taxation structure, we have layered and layers of duties. Firstly, you start with, let's say, import duty, then you have GSTs, which is as high as 50%, and then ex-showroom price, and then you have registration costs, which is between 10 to 20%. So you have multiple layers of duties, and at the end of the day, customer ends up paying, let's say, very high for luxury cars. And all our customers are very well traveled globally. They know what these cars cost anywhere else in the world, and we all are struggling with high duties. It's a fact of life, and that's why this segment has not grown. Even if you go to any Southeast Asian market, the luxury segment is 6-7% of the automotive industry. So I do see a lot of potential, because overall India, the mobility, the motorization is, let's say, less than 30 cars per 1,000 people. So there is a lot of future for India. But for luxury space, unfortunately, it has not moved in a positive direction for the last couple of years. It did well, but last couple of years have not been that great. And I only hope that we are able to change this direction. And if this direction changes for good, it will be win-win for everybody.
Okay. Some of your competitors have delayed their launch, specifically on the electric side of things. They have delayed the launch of the electric models. Is there any impact of semiconductor shortage on Audi India, or you have managed to have or procure those kind of components?
So far, I think we've been able to manage well. If you ask me if there is a zero impact, the answer is no. But with our headquarters, it's a developing situation. On a week-to-week basis, we get new information about availability of certain products. So there is no doubt some of our cars' waiting period is a little longer than what it used to be. But so far, the situation is good, and I only hope that it improves as we move on.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.